So Taonga, we've got Paul Smith, Jeff Coey, Phil Gunderson, Hunter Reid, Anthony Olay, Matthew Spargo, Mike Phipps, Ryan Phipps, and Fiona Keegan.
Also, we've got Nathan Trow, Paul Wright, Paul Pasala, Misha White, Matthew Foster, Matthew Farquhar, Simon Poppleton, who's captain, Georgia Fisher, and Carol Wright, who's reserved.
Righto, from Waikato, we have Sean Blackburn, we've got Alex Reid, we've got Nash Smith, Annalise Baker, Wayne Baker, Georgie Boyce, Maureen, Richard Caddy, and our reserve, Linda McCurdy. And we've got our supporters here too, so bring them on.
Ash Burton, Russell Ellis, Jeremy Markham, Taylor McKenzie, Ken McKenzie, Michael Lawson, Graham Chapman, Neil Atkinson, and Rowena McKenzie.
We got Simon Thomas, our captain, Kylie Gould, Rob Osborne, Daryl Gallagher, and the other team is Ellery Allen, Murray Fox, Jeff Stewart, and Mike Johnston.
Righto, on your mats and we'll get underway.
Go Waikato!
Alright, bear with me everyone. This is the first session for the Interprovincials 2026 being hosted here in North Taranaki, and we've got a couple of fours matches that we can watch. They are going separate ways, so don't really have much we can do about that. And we'll try and provide you a little bit of a commentary on what's going on. We've got Auckland versus Waikato. So Nathan versus Sean. And on the far mat is Tauranga versus Auckland. Why is this not going? As we go through the sessions, so we're currently on mats 7 and 8 in the hall, and there's a mat close to the glass room, which is mat 12, and that'll become the one where we're watching singles and pairs. Also, I don't currently have any scoreboards, so I'll try and get Michaela at some stage to go and do a wander and get us some scores. Certainly much easier when they're going the same way.
today, so it was good. Oh, that's
Sean's
awesome.
just playing up. Nate's just played a great block.
Yeah, we just got to
Just had confirmation that the video stream is working, so that's good. We hadn't turned the microphones on in the hall. We'll muck about that with that later. Looks like Anthony's got an upshot here. Oh no, just a draw. So Waikato sitting pretty there with one shot, back toucher. And on the other mat it looks like that Auckland just picked up one. It's good that on both mats actually Auckland are playing in yellow, so that makes life a little bit easier. On the far mat, George has just dropped a little bit short there. Nathan played a lovely ball there, just moving the kitty. Sean and Nathan have one ball each. Poppy's just missed on the far mat, picking the kitty up and moving it. Sean's bowl is coming down the mat now. Just a recap on the close mat, where you've got Paul and Nathan having a chat at the head. Auckland are playing Waikato, and on the far mat you've got Tauranga playing Auckland. Anthony's just asking Mike to put something behind to cover those oranges, those yellows at the back. Just drops a little bit short and narrow. Auckland will have scored on the Nate Paul mat, the closest mat. Last end, Nate's looking to play his last bowl, and Sean has the final bowl. Looks like yellow holding at the moment. Far mat, Matthew Farquhar's just let the ball go. Just sneaks past the kitty. Didn't even think that there was a gap there. Matthew Spargo just trying to draw around, draw close on the far mat. With that front yellow that Alex put up on the close mat, makes it difficult to play through there. So Paul and Nate are still talking about the shot choice. It looks like Matthew Farquhar just drew close to the kitty on the far mat. Nate's about to deliver his bowl on the close mat. Oof, Alex's block nicely in the way there. We've just seen Matthew Spargo play his bowl on the far mat, and whilst he got the kitty just a little bit, it did sneak through the gap. On the close mat, Sean's down about to deliver his bowl. Just be looking to draw close. Just over it slightly. There's one to Waikato. On the close mat, it is 1 each at the moment. And on the far mat, we'll stay with that because we're on the skip bowls at the moment. Matthew Foster is skipping for that team. Matthew and Matthew. Matt and Matt having a good conversation. There's too many Matts around, I think. Okay, the Matts have finished their discussion. Matthew Foster's down to deliver his bowl. Looks like he's coming down on his backhand. Anthony's actually down quite quickly. It looks as though they're sort of 3 down at the moment. So you'd want to be drawing close. It's a good way to bowl. That's an excellent bowl by Anthony. Pressure shot there. Drew close. Now has the shot. Not much conversation needed there. Anthony has the last bowl for Tauranga as black, so Matthew Foster's about to deliver his bowl. And just gets caught up. I think it was Matthew Spargo's. As I said, too many Matthews. Anthony's down quickly. Just a nice draw here. Draw into the spot will get you 2 shots. A little bit wide. Good to be on the board though. I'm trying to see the board across the other side of the room. I think it's 1-3 to Auckland at the moment. And now we can switch over to the other camera. Lorraine's dropped a lovely bowl there. Just in behind the caddy. Really useful. Georgia was down quickly. Match just behind. Sat Lorraine's bowl over. Front mat, Nash on the front mat. Nash was looking to get onto that yellow. Lorraine's just jack high there. Georgia again down quickly into her work. So on the front mat there with Alex and Sean. Sean really needs Alex to get into that gap. Sit on the blacks, get a bit of a slide off. Just a slide over draw. Alex's bowl comes on the mat, he's playing the other hand, and okay, move that around a little bit, that's right. Poppy's bowl's coming down on the other mat, can't see it now because Nate and Paul having a good conversation there. Nate just signaling to Paul there just to try for that gap. It does look as though the shot black is sitting down, whereas the yellow is actually standing up. So you have a concern that you're going to roll that in, but that's okay. So Paul Wright is about to deliver. Here it comes down the mat as it got the weight. Oh, right. Let's move that in. It'll be interesting whether or not, if you can play onto that outside left yellow, get onto black, whether or not the kitty will slide across to the right hand yellows. Whilst we watch Matt and Matt on the other mat. Just having a conversation. Matthew Farquhar's just let the last ball go on that end. And looking quite pretty at the moment for black on the other mat. As Matthew Spargo comes up. Well, of concern would be there's not really any blacks around the back. Alex tactfully getting his body in the way there. So Anthony, I think, is looking to get that middle black and potentially push it. Although Matthew Spargo on the draw there, just to get around behind. And that's a really good bowl sitting in amongst those yellows, and it's just sat down as well. Alex's crunch has certainly opened the head on the closest mat. Paul Wright is coming down on his forehand, looking to draw close. Wonderful bowl there by Matthew Farquhar on the far mat. Picked the kitty up, dragged it back. Might be sitting with a black at the moment, but it's certainly better position than it was. Probably 3 black down. Sean's down quickly to take his shot. There's good move when he's playing on his backhand to play through that split. Coming down the mat. Very close. Oh, what a wonderful shot there. Look at that. Looking like it's 2 to 3 down there. Interestingly, the application that I'm using, there was a there's a replay feature. I haven't found that yet, so I'm going to leave that alone for this session. Where I'm positioned in the hall, it's a kitchen area, well, a bar area, one was said, with a nice big glass partition, and the 2 mats across the other side of the hall. So every now and again you'll hear a little bit of noise as the door opens into the hall. Nate's about to deliver his bowl on the front mat. Just a slight overdraw. Ah, great bowl there, but probably just a little bit light. But it's cut it down to 1. Matthew Foster's probing on the other mat. Crunched it through. Not sure if it's changed the outcome there. And then really a conversation of what happens here. On this mat they're 1-1 at the moment. Early in the game, all the ends are 9 ends for every game. There's no time limit.
Oh, yeah.
Sean's just popping his bowl up from Matt there, and yep. It's going to be difficult for Nate to actually get in there and affect anything there, although he does have that back black. However, having said that, if he does play onto that, those two bowls could actually be touching, that black and the yellow. Oh, that's disappeared, sorry. And if that was the case, he doesn't want, if he plays on his forehand, on his backhand rather, and gets onto that yellow, that black's going to go off the mat. I think Paul's just saying if you can get onto the black, you could potentially get onto the shot yellow and tip it out of the way. So if you played enough weight to get onto the black, play onto that yellow, the shot yellow. Oh, Matthew Foster's doing a stand up here. I think they're in, well, I think he's trying to get rid of that black, and if he did, then they might be 3 or 4. So it's going to be a screamer coming up the mat. Hopefully Paul Wright gets out of the way. Here it goes. Crunch. The black didn't move. So there we go. All that build up for nothing, sorry. So the difference to this type of competition to others is more akin to finals where there's no time limit. They often do take a long time. We might be on for a good hour and a half for a game of fours. Obviously when you get down to the singles, it's a little bit more, you get into your groove, and playing 9 ends, you're pretty much going to be done sort of 30 minutes, 35 minutes. But these games will go on for a bit. So Nate's about to deliver his bowl, and they were looking to potentially get onto that outside black, the first black on the left hand side. He's close, very close. Oh, what a great bowl, tipped it out. Just enough, picked up a 1 or a 2. Yeah, let's switch over to the other side. Lane's throwing up a bit of a short kitty there. One in front, one behind. George has put a lovely bowl there in the back. Good ball there by Poppy. Mike's going to be playing on the far mat. Mike is going to be playing on his backhand. He's playing with a little bit of weight. Ball comes at the mat. Yeah, it's a good bowl there. Open the head up a little bit. Got a front toucher. But in pushing through, what you've also got is you've got yellows at the back. So Matthew just asking Poppy to play on his forehand. 2 wonderful opening bowls there by Annalise on the front mat. Poppy just go past a little bit, but it's still on the mat. It's heading towards the square. Nate's just asked Paul Pasala just to draw close, I think, maybe just with a little 6 inches on. Get close to the kitty. A good second shot. A little bit, I mean, not a bad weight, but obviously a little bit narrow. Sparkle's just put up a lovely bowl there on the far mat, but this has left a little bit of a split, which Matthew Farquhar is eyeing up at the moment on his forehand. Nash comes in on the close mat. Left a bit of a cup there to sit into. Spargo on the other mat is a little bit wide there. Looks as though that's hanging when you get too wide. Paul Pasala on the close mat. That's a much better bowl. There we go. Certainly it's now in the head. Matthew Farquhar's played a wonderful bowl on the other side. Not sure he's done enough to get the shot, but it's certainly taken that bowl out. Nash's bowl is coming up ahead at the moment, and it's a good bowl. The pocket's there though. I would have imagined that Auckland will be looking to be into that. I think on the other mat, the Mats and Mats are having a conversation about Foster just coming up and giving that a tickle. Never fair on the front mat. Nate and Paul having a good conversation. Matthew Foster on the other mat is playing on his forehand. Coming up here now, sweep around. Okay, it's a good second shot. And on the close mat, Paul's about to deliver his bowl. Come through on the forehand. Yeah, it's better. Let's open the head up a little bit. Got to remove one of the yellows. On that mat at the moment, on the front mat, you've got two back bowls. The two back black bowls, which are probably the ones that you're looking at as being your scoring shots at the moment. There's still 4 yellow bowls to come, and 3 black ones. Matt Spargo and Anthony just having a bit of conversation on the mat, and Anthony's heading back to play his bowl. Alex's yellow is coming up the mat here. Oof. And Anthony's played probably just a touch wide on that hand. So, like I said, seems to be hanging a little bit on that. Alex's bowl has nicely filled that gap. However, you'd still be as black playing through that right hand black. Matthew Foster is about to deliver his bowl on the far mat, and he's desperately looking for a hit. Oh, that's gone through. And Tauranga have scored there. Looks like they scored a 1. And it looks like, if my eyesight is not failing me too much, it is now 3-all on the far mat. Paul Wright is down to deliver on the close mat, and is probing on the forehand, and is looking for that right hand black, but just gone a bit narrow. So as we saw with Paul's bowl, so you've got that front left hand black there. On this mat, it appears as though there's a big swing on the forehand, whereas on the far mat, you get onto that forehand going the way that they're going, and it hangs out a little bit. Alex is probing for the back, trying to set off that one there. There we go, it's a good bowl. So I would have imagined that we're still looking for Nate. Yeah, so we're down to the skip bowls now on the close mat. So you'd be expecting that Nate would be playing through that black, because he's got the back bowls anyway. A little bit more delicate now that Alex has put the furthest yellow at the back there. But if you're playing through that, if you get it square, you could be sliding onto the yellow anyway. But it's going to be coming delivered shortly. Coming down the mat. Although having said that, he might have pushed it across to that black. So from Sean's perspective, I think you're probably looking to play that yellow. If you played the forehand, even if you played that yellow-black split, you could push that black out of the way, so the left-hand black could go, and if you get the split clean, then you might move that right-hand black as well, and then be sitting there with 3 or 4. How many ends have they played? They've played, so it's this is their 4th end, so you're still under halfway through the game. Mike Phipps is playing a stand-up. Let's drop over to that end there, and he's playing with some, straight through the gap. So Matthew Foster just asking Poppy to draw close there. Sean's about to deliver his bowl. Oh. That has shocked me slightly. They must be holding, surely. I guess the question would be, how does Nate get the shot out of that? Matthew Spargo, cool as a cucumber on the other mat, has drawn very close on the far side. So at least we got something close there from Tauranga. I think Mike was trying to hit one of those 2 front blacks up, or get them out of the way. Matthew Farquhar is just delivering his bowl. Coming down the mat now. Has he got the weight? Oof. I guess this is going to be a good position because unless you're playing through those blacks, you're not going to be moving it to the left-hand side, right? You've got the black on the left close, and you've got the black at the back. So Spargo's down, just to try and draw it again. So you see his bowl coming up the mat. And it's a good position there. Not sure whether they're holding, but just trying to zoom in a little bit. And Matt's asking Matt to probably just play up a little bit heavier, see if he can sit that black or move the kitty. So it's very close. Yeah, good bowl there. So Anthony's not really interested in looking at the head, so I think he'll probably just playing a positive draw, looking to get onto the kitty. Bowl's coming up the mat now. Oh, took his one out. Guess he's, yeah, okay. Nate's about to have a pop at this head. Coming down on his forehand. Down the right side of the mat, the big swing hand. Good bit of weight. Coming up the mat. Crunch. Oh, great bowl there. I can see from here that where you've got the yellow and black sitting, the kitty's just behind, so diagonally close to, in line with Matthew Foster, who's just delivered his bowl. So the kitty's just there. I think the issue that Sean's got at the moment is now no close yellows. So if his yellow disappears off the mat, and this is the last bowl for this end, if he gets it wrong and the yellow goes, then they're not in a good position. And I can't see, I don't know whether or not. So I think they probably, if the black and the yellow are touching, then, which I think they are, because I think that the yellow is leaning on the black. So there's a question of actually just playing on the forehand, which he is. And if you can just overweight, and because they're touching, the kinetic energy from the bowl will sit that yellow and then pop that black out. So it's coming up the mat now. And there it was. What a great bowl. Great bowl. That's 1 to Waikato. So if we pop back to the other mat. Not quite sure where the kitty is at the moment. It's probably in the same location as it was, which is, you can see those 2 yellows that are close together, and then you've got those 2 blacks. There's a possibility they're looking to play through one of those blacks onto the yellow, and if you get that left-hand yellow, it might go directly onto the shot bowl. So there's a possibility that it's got the shot. Yep, Matthew Foster is definitely playing on his forehand. I think they're going to look for either a black onto yellow. Oh, that was close. possibly just one black there, so that would be Tauranga taking the lead 4-3. Misha on the front mat, just sneaking around the back there, so good close position there with a shot bowl and then a back bowl. What we'll do is we'll do a side by side for the moment. Lorraine's put a lovely length kitty up there. And George has just popped 1 6 inches behind, so that's really nice. Lorraine's just snuck around. Again, they're good bowls. They're back bowls and fours. Often, as you've seen, there's going to be upshots from various members of the team. Paul Pasala there on the front mat, just doubled up the shot and just pushed that black around the corner. And Sean was just signalling to Nash there just to play through that. You can see the kitty, it's open there. So good trail, and if you get it clean, then obviously the yellow's going with it. Nash is just delivering his bowl now. He's moved stuff around, that's alright. Opened it up a little bit. Far mat, Taranga's just swinging past to the back there. Matthew's just asking Poppy to play on his forehand. He can afford to be to the spot, so if he gets to the that first black, it's a good bowl. Trouble is you don't want to give them too much of a target. Matthew's just hoping for that to move across. So okay, so that's probably stopped shot through on the backhand. Mike's down quickly. He's going to be playing his backhand. So stop the shot through on the forehand. I think Mike's going to be playing, and he's going to be looking to try and sit that. Yeah, good bowl there. Again, what that's done is open the head up, but it's now given yellow a back bowl there. So Poppy was quickly down, going to play his backhand, and he'd surely be looking to try and sit inside that black. That's a lovely bowl. So not much change to the head here, I don't think. Okay, Kitty might have popped across. We're probably sitting with one black at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. They'll have them after the 3 hundred.
A little bit of noise in the room at the moment, but we got Matthew Spargo down. He's playing on his forehand. Don't forget, if it gets too wide, it'll hang out and it won't come in. So it looks like it's just draw weight. He's just trying to sneak around. That's a lovely bowl there. He's picked the caddy up. I'd very much be expecting the call to be to play through that a little bit, but it looks as though yellow's going to get onto the. Looks as though yellow's going to get caddy first. If you play on your backhand and you play through that a little bit, but that's okay because you've got that yellow behind, right? So you're not going to split those blacks out. They're just having a look to see what a forehand would look like. So I think they're thinking that could play his forehand. What's he down playing? Yep, he's going to play his forehand. He's going to be trying to play through that yellow, get onto the black, and it'll pop the kitty out to the left-hand side. Very close, almost. You've got a lot of yellow sitting around that at the moment, but again, it's one black at the moment. And I think Anthony's just asked Matthew to play up to that left-hand yellow, closest to the black there. You probably just want to try and set that one down. So Matthew's bowl coming down the mat now. just sneaks past.
You don't have to go through the door.
A little bit of noise in the room at the moment, so I do apologise.
Watching too.
Again, on this mat here, the head's not really changed there. Oh, sorry about that. Paul was trying to actually, I think, just drop up and sit on the right-hand yellow and then sneak inside, but he just went a little bit wide. So it was going to be a good positive shot.
I think, yeah, because most of that.
So I think Sean's just going to be playing this forehand here and just see if he can draw close. Yep, forehand shot.
Where you guys. Yeah.
It's just draw weight. It's coming up the mat.
Yeah.
Very close. That's a great bowl.
Oh,
There's a great bowl by Matthew Farquhar on the far mat there. Now those two are just sitting against each other.
did you fly?
The yellows are surrounded. Be easier if you could actually see the bowls, eh?
Well, we could, but it's going to cost like $800 per person.
Nate's just run wide a little bit and he's just sitting on the front of Sean's bowl. But Anthony's just delivered his bowl. I think he's probably looking to probe that a little bit.
No.
That's close.
And then they send it.
Yeah, that's not too
The
bad.
longest I've taken is I've flown from Christchurch, Wellington to Auckland, then back.
Yeah,
So could have just drove.
yeah,
I find it easy to fly to Palmy.
yeah. They're probably reasonable.
I think they're thinking Anthony's next shot was playing through that on the backhand. So Matthew Foster is down. He's on his forehand. I think he's going to be probing at that front yellow, just to the right of the black there, and see if he can knock that black through. So it's good weight coming up the mat.
Yeah.
No, he's just missed. That's the swing hand, right?
I lived in that.
I called Mike on the mat now just to have a conversation about what needs to happen here. So there are 2 bowls left on that far mat. Let's come back to the other mat. Sean's playing his shot. Just trying to get a rub off. Oof. Don't know if he's happy about that shot or not. If they've got the shot, I'm not sure how else they're going to get it. But Anthony is playing his shot. I think, I think he's possibly putting up a block. So don't forget, everybody, you always clap a block. There we go. So I think they're again trying to stop that shot that Matthew Farquhar was just showing. And it looks as though Black has the shot on the close mat. Nate can play his bowl. So that looks as though that is currently 3-2 to Auckland. Foster has played his bowl and he is, got something. And 1 yellow. Okay, so that puts that game back being 4-all. Tauranga versus Auckland on the far mat. We'll drop back to the split view at the moment. We've got Annalise, both leads are leading off at the moment. Annalise has put a lovely bowl there. Looking to try and double it up, just sneaks around the back just a little bit. Lorraine is just a little bit wide there, but certainly jack high. And you're going to get Poppy to play on his backhand. I would have imagined just trying to get between the spot and the kitty at the moment. I think he's just swung a little bit too far there. As I say, back bowl's a good bowl. Popasala has got a back bowl. Mike is short and wide, okay. Nash delivering his bowl up the mat, that's gone to the back. Poppy has managed to cover Mike's bowl a treat there, so if it comes forward, then they've got the backest bowl and the shortest bowl. Mike is down to just try and sneak in between Lorraine's bowl on the outside there and the shot bowl being that yellow. And yeah, that's a good bowl there. Looking to get to that spot, nice.
Yeah, no. It was nice catching up. Hopefully we'll see you again over the weekend.
Matt and Matt having a good conversation in the middle of the mat over there. And who's down bowling? This is Nash, about to deliver his bowl. Just looking to sneak around. Yeah, there's a good bowl there. So putting that bowl close has sort of stopped the drag on the backhand. He's looking for Paul to draw close, would just tip that black over on his forehand. I think we'll be looking for Matthew Spargo just to be drawing close. Get a good second shot there. So he is close here. Yeah, that's closer, nice. So Paul's just snuck in behind that yellow now, so you've got to be thinking, oh, we need something else on the head. There's sort of only one yellow there, surrounded by a sea of black. So be asking Alex just to draw close. If he can draw into that gap, it wouldn't even matter if he moved that kitty a little bit, that would be okay. It's got to be up, and it is. What a great bowl. Although, looking at Sean's face, you wouldn't be able to tell that. Okay, so Alex has just gesticulated that it wasn't the desired outcome that they were looking for. I think he was looking to probably sit on that front black, but again, I'm not sure why that's a bad bowl. Anyway, Matthew Spargo on the probe to draw closer there. That is a wonderful draw bowl, so that's really good now. That looks as though that is a black touching the yellow. So you've got options now. You've got that Matthew Spargo's last bowl just in front of the spot, behind the kitty, behind that black and yellow. So you don't have a shot that you can actually play through, and you've got that front black also blocking a shot there. And you've got your three yellows behind. So the thing is, from the Auckland perspective, if Anthony plays a little bit overweight and that black and that yellow in the far is actually touching, he could remove the yellow. So Matthew Foster is playing on his forehand. I think the goal would probably be, on his backhand, the goal would probably be to sit on that back black, but he's just swung past. Whilst I was blathering on about the other mat, I've missed what's actually happened on this mat, so now I have no idea where the kitty is. But it looks as though it's probably between the two yellows are sitting, all four of those are sitting, but I think there's a possibility that they're going to be playing with a little bit of weight. Anthony's on the probe to get the outside of that black. Oh, where's the kitty? Let's have a look. Oh, there it is. What's going on there? Okay. So currently Auckland's not in a particularly good spot there. Again, Not the desired outcome by Alex. He's pushed his yellow through, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll get over it. Oh, Sean was looking for the fist bump there, and it's gone. It's gone as pear-shaped as you could imagine any type of fist bump that everybody has missed could have gone. Alex was just looking in despair at the head, and Sean was just like, please don't leave me hanging. But you have Matthew Foster, who's playing on his backhand. I think they're probably looking to either draw close, which they need. And it's coming up the mat now. Lorraine is willing it to swing past. That's a good bowl there. So now Anthony's sort of lost out a little bit. Mike's on the head, lost a little bit on that. So if you get onto that black and push that through now, that is not a good result for black. Anthony's got the last bowl of this end. He did, as he walked up the mat, he did indicate that if he played through that black at the front there onto the yellow, then it's going towards blacks. So as you can see, he's very interested in that shot. I mean, they could be 2 down, I can't see from here, but if they lose that black out of the head, yeah. So it's that shot. You've got to commit now. So it's good weight. It's coming up the mat. Oh, not the desired result. So definitely 1. And not sure my eyesight is good enough to see across the other side of the room now. So it's 4, 5. Oh, it was only 1. Okay, so I think they're on their last end now, and it is 5-4 to Auckland. So here we go. The shot's coming in. Oh, I think he was just trying to tip that one out. Okay. I'll just zoom out a little bit there. Lovely starting bowl there by Georgia. What a great start to an end when you're 1 up. Been a very tight game over there. Lorraine's bowl's coming down the mat, looking just to get behind. Yeah. Pop that out a little bit, so that's good. It's now open and just sitting behind a little bit. Now, because we don't know where the caddy is, these guys are only 4 or 5 ends into a 9-end game. Georgia just probably needed to be a little bit more through that, if that's what you're aiming for, or actually looking for the right hand front corner of the square. Lorraine is probably just a little bit shy. Being 1 down, you either need a position behind, and I think Matthew Foster is asking for the slight rake here. So 6 inches away. Poppy's playing his backhand. And, oh, it's short. I don't know whether it's blocking. I'm not going to clap a block because I don't know whether or not it was a block. So I think Mike is on his forehand. Mike's playing really well on his forehand at the moment. I played him on the weekend at singles, and his forehand draw was absolutely deadly. So he's coming down the mat now. This is the swing side. Yeah, that was close. It was a lovely weight, right? So it's that foot on, playing to the left-hand corner of the square. Nate is playing a block. There we go. So as I said earlier, make sure, everybody, you clap a block. You always clap a block. So I think they're trying to stop that yellow, black tip out. But then also is black holding. And I guess the next question is if that's good enough, then what happens if you actually get onto that black? And I think Alex is just showing you there that the caddy's going to trail. So I think there's only a couple of points in at this moment. As I said, there's probably another 3 ends after this. So these 2 games have been really close. So Sean's about to let rip. it's just a slide over draw. He snuck inside and no, he got caught up. Oh, there's a lovely bowl by Matthew Farquhar there on the other mat, having dragged the caddy back and popped in that middle, right? So there's only one between them. At least yellow now has a back bowl, which is good news. And then Matthew Spargo indicating, please let me have a go at the front. I think danger on that far mat, bearing in mind this is the last hand, we might stick around with this one, is if you play on your backhand and you get onto that yellow, you might be squeezing the caddy. So Matthew's down on his forehand and he's playing with some weight. Here it comes. Oh, just got the outside edge. Okay. So I think the idea there was to play yellow, yellow, play that through. And now the mats are having a good discussion about who's actually holding. I'm going to repost the link on Facebook. I've got a pending post, so somebody's watching and you can approve that post, but I'll pop another one up. Okay, so the mats have made a decision. Matthew Farquhar is down to bowl, and it's coming up the mat. A little bit of weight. Is it going to swing enough? Oh, they're definitely looking for that yellow-black. Don't forget, yellow, so Auckland is one up on that last end at the moment. Now it's Anthony and Matthew's turn to get down and scratch their heads to see who's actually holding shot. So they know the intent. I think there's a possibility that Anthony was just like, look, play through that. If you get rid of that front yellow, well, I think that was Poppy's bowl originally, so I did say don't block that, don't clap that, because I don't think it was a block. But ultimately, if it's in the way enough, then it's going to clear space for Matt. Matt's going to be playing his forehand. Is he? No, played his backhand, and big crunch. There we go. Might be holding shot. No, Matthew Spargo probably does have the shot. We'll stick with this until these guys finish because it's their final end. But on the other mat, in fact, whilst they're having a yak, we can do that. And no, I can't. Let's do that and zoom out. There we go, that's better. We can see that black's in a little bit of trouble there, and Paul has just played a lovely bowl to move that second yellow. It looks as though it's a bit of a front toucher there for that yellow at the moment. A few of the other teams have finished here. Trying to grab somebody's attention, find out. So Tarrant was playing Ashburton on map 6, I think. No, nobody is bothering to look over. Great. So Matthew Foster is down to bowl. Just a little bit overweight played, and oh, okay, fair enough. Won't be the desired result, but they're probably holding 1 at the moment, so I think Anthony's just going to get down and draw that. So score at the moment is Auckland are 1 up. 2 bowls to come. And we've got Matthew Foster, who I think is playing his forehand. I think he's still trying to get onto that second yellow. Just a slight overdraw and weight. That's a turny hand. And that is really close. There we go. Auckland like that one. Don't know whether they're holding or not. And Anthony has the last bowl of this game. So they're all on the mat now. So Anthony's about to deliver. Reasonable weight on the forehand. Oh, the big crunch and off. So there's 3. So for the difference, they will play another end. And what you'll find at club nights is the team that killed it, the opposition who scored points, will often get down and bowl. As has happened here, Tauranga killed it. It's on the final end, and they've been put in. So 4's the difference, I think. So 8-4 there. And they're trying to kill it because it's only worth 2. You don't play another end on a killed end. It doesn't matter about there being draws here. So a lot of people looking. Good news is that not many people have been standing in front of the oh, they're still trying to kill it. No, and George has missed with 2. So because they're 8-4, the first 4 bowls will only be worth 2. And at the moment, those guys are all in the way. So Poppy's down. I wonder if he's going to be drawing close or just trying to kill it. Oh, trying to kill it. And there it is. So that is a win to the Auckland squad. Now, I'm pretty sure that everybody in the hall will have to wait until all the 4s are finished. I'm pretty sure that's what happened last year. We've got a Waikato versus Canterbury on mat 2. And they are potentially on their last end or second to last end. Couple more, so that's Canterbury versus Waikato on mat 2, and we've still got Hutt Valley versus Canterbury on mat 14 that's going ahead. Hutt Valley being last year's winners of the Welsh. Nate's playing a little bit of weight on the backhand. Oh, just gone through. I'm just going to go and see whether the other Tauranga team, how they got on. I'll leave you guys here. Okay, so slightly biased. I went and found out what Tauranga did, and I didn't bother to find out what everybody else did. But the scores will be coming through at some point soon on the chart room spreadsheet. But the other Tauranga team won against Ashburton. We've got Wayne, so we got Waikato versus Canterbury. They're playing their last game at the moment, and Waikato are 3 down. And Nate, and so 3 the diff, Auckland versus Waikato, which is what we're watching at the moment. So Auckland are up by 3-5-2. So long games, but and low scoring. Nice balls there by Misha. One behind close. Annalise a little bit wayward there, but I don't know if the kitty got moved, so. Great ball by Nash there, dragging it back. Nate's just asking for the draw to be close. So Paul is a little bit, does get a bit swingy, so I don't know whether that is when it's narrow it gets swingy. Again, looks like there was a lovely ball by Nash, dragging to the back. Nate's just down the mat having a chat with Paul. I think the conversation will be along the lines of, end of mat weight, get to it.
Want to buy a raffle? There's money as well, but I've put the prizes in the lock, so we'll even give you that trip. Appreciate it.
A couple of people slightly gesticulating then about the time. But again, we know that these games take a while. Obviously looks different from the other end. Everybody's finished now, by the way, just as FYI. So the Canterbury Hutt Valley game is complete. The Waikato Canterbury game has completed. So is this one to go? This is the, I want to say the 7th end. 7th end, or is the 8th end? Guys are in the way. So just so that you're aware, we're going to just stay on the same session all the way through. So there'll be a bit of a changeover as we move the cameras, but we'll leave the stream running. And then here's Paul is playing his backhand, it looks like. I think he's probably looking for that yellow. The outside yellow, the left-hand yellow on the close bowl, up the mat, and probably not the desired outcome. However, having said that, has gotten rid of that front black, which does mean that if we get closer to that, you got Nate, you got that front, so you've got if Nate can get enough underneath and get to that left-hand yellow, there's a slice that comes across, and the kitty might move. Or if you get the crunch, then it'll likely stay there. So if you're effectively playing for the split, but again, you've got Paul Wright coming, so 2 bowls from him. You've got Alex. Alex is playing his forehand, probably trying to sneak between the front black and the first yellow, and trying to draw either just past the corner, the left-hand corner, front corner of the square. So bowl's coming down the mat now, doesn't want to get caught up. Oh, okay. That's sort of blocking up that hole now. But what it did do is it pushed that black across. So whilst we can't clap that block because it wasn't Auckland playing that, I think you're probably playing, you're probably playing a little bit on just to make sure that you actually reach. And if you get that black square on the right hand black, that's at the front right hand corner of the square, pushing that through. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to potentially play the forehand or play the split. You're not, I'm not necessarily sure you're trying to take the bowls off the mat. I think this is the 8th end and I've missed a score, so I'm going to wait for Paul's shot. He is playing his backhand, so it's reasonable weight. It's coming down the mat. Oh, what a slice! What a slice! Now, obviously, he's going to say he played for that. So Alex is now down, just looking to draw in the middle of the square. Ball's coming down the mat now. Needs to get around that, needs to get around it. Oh, probably a good little bit of weight. Now again, yeah, it should just be, I think they're either ahead by 1 or 2, but Paul's just drawing to the middle of the square. It's what you do on a club night when you're having practice. Draw into the square. Playing his forehand, ball's coming down the mat now. Needs to get around that yellow. Oh, 2 rolls. I'm going to go and find out what the score is. I'll be back, so I'll turn the mic off for the moment. Yep, it is 5-2. And this is the 8th end, so there'll be one more end after this. So again, a couple of options there. Obviously, Sean chose the option forehand, backed himself to draw to the middle of the square. Nate's got a shot through the middle to play onto that, the furthest black, middle of the square. He is playing his backhand, so I think he's playing for that. So you'd be playing just off the off the mat weight. You're playing to draw the kitty. Always playing good weight. Oh, that's not made it good. Okay, didn't expect that sort of weight. It does look from where I can see that the left hand yellow is pretty much the front toucher. So, and it looks as though that the 2 yellows are touching. Sean's got the second to last bowl. So if he plays the forehand and touches that yellow, he might tip that yellow out, which then leaves that split again. So he's playing his forehand. It's good weight. Certainly draw weight. Might be a skosh bit heavy. That's a good effort to get behind, you know. So if it stays as it is, then you're looking at 1 the diff going to the last end. So you're not going to be playing on your forehand. I don't think he's going to be playing that shot again because that's just going to kill. Then that's 3. Then it's all square last end. And I don't know whether it's going to turn enough to get onto that right hand yellow to tip the shot bowl out. So it might be just a question of actually taking your poison and dropping a 2. Well, they certainly made a decision. So Nate is on his forehand. Interesting if he's going to be playing a draw or if he's going to be playing through some of those shots. Nate's playing the draw. So he's getting around. That is a wonderful effort. Okay. So that is now last end and won the diff. So Annalise to let us off. We've got some wonderful volunteers here at in North Taranaki who are going to be assisting in putting the scores in. There's a brand new score entry app that we're trialling, which certainly the trials that I've had a look at are very promising. It means you've got less people who've got access to the chart room spreadsheet, which is probably a good thing. There has been a change, and it's not come through yet. So Julie Thomas has withdrawn, and Daryl Gallagher is in place. So we're just waiting for that to be updated. That'll happen at some stage. But we're just waiting for this game to finish, and then we'll move the cameras. We'll get you set up. I'll leave it on mute for a bit, and then I'll go and check with the wonderful volunteers to make sure that they're all happy with how those scores are going in. And then we'll be back to have my dulcet tones. I think actually we're looking at 3 singles matches, mats rather. So yeah, it'll be an interesting setup. Nash playing good bowls there. Don't want to zoom in too much because it'll take it towards the 2 mats. I'm going to go and change some stuff out because we're going to run out of data shortly. What I will do is switch over to the other camera so I can actually get to my phone. Alright, we're now back on endless data. I'm completely wrong, by the way, with the score. So they scored a 2 on the 7th end to be 1 behind, and the last end they Waikato scored another 2, and it's now 6-5. And whilst I can see the kitty looking out, not sure who's holding. So again, tight game. Everybody else in the hall is eating sweets and getting to where they need to be. Looking forward to the next game. So Nate's about to deliver his bowl. Playing on his backhand. Oh no, he's playing his forehand, sorry. And I think he's trying to get into that gap, you know. Swing round. Oh! Rolled that yellow in a little bit. So it's in between, so that yellow that just tipped in, so you can see there's a black, which is almost like it's splitting the 2 yellows in the middle, and the kitty is pretty much directly in between those. So you've got a good position with the yellow at the back there. You've got a black sitting flat, and I think Sean is just signalling there, if it does come through and doesn't kill, then yeah, you've got that problem of 2 blacks at the back, which would be a loss. So yeah, interesting to see if Sean is playing weight to come through there, but I think they're actually holding. He's playing his backhand. I think he's trying to draw to the back of the square. So it's coming down the mat, and he's just a bit short there. Okay. So on mat 12 next, whilst Nate and Paul decide the last bowl of this game, round 2, mat 12 will be, it looks like it's going to be Simon Thomas and Sean Blackburn. So this is a Canterbury versus Waikato game, singles. So Nate is down to bowl. Silence in the hall. He's playing his forehand, but he's just playing a little bit overweight. I think he's just trying to tip some stuff, which he has done. Oh, he's trying to get it back. There you go. So it looks like there's 2 yellow there at least. So there's a win to Waikato. So I'm going to move some mats, so the cameras, get ourselves set up for the next game, and then I'll help the ladies who are doing the scores, and then the spreadsheet will be updated. I'll also pop, I think Alex has already done a post about where the spreadsheet is, so we'll be back shortly. Yes. Okay, so we're pretty much underway. I'm just going to move some people out of the way.
Everyone got markers?
Thank you. So on mat 12 we have Simon Thomas and Sean Blackburn. Sean has just picked up his win against Nathan Trowell. Simon's leading us off. What I'll try and do is see if we can get some ends running on this as well.
That's one, the basket, and then there's a $50 note, and then there's, yeah, that's got a little bit of crap in it. Well, not crap, good stuff.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go and make sure that the scores are where they need to be. So I'll leave you. I'll leave you with this for the moment, and then we'll get back. Okay, so I hope you've been successfully occupied. The scores have been updated now on the chart room spreadsheet. So currently Canterbury, looks like Canterbury won both of their games. So they're on 8 points. So just a bit of a score rundown. Fours are worth 4 points for a win, 2 for a draw. Pairs are worth 3 points for a win, and 1.5 points for a draw, and singles are worth 2 for a win and 1 for a draw. So currently on the spreadsheet you've got Canterbury on 8 points, and then on 4 points you've got Hutt Valley, Tauranga, Auckland and Waikato in that order based on ends, although they're pretty similar. So Hutt Valley, Tauranga and Auckland, that can't be right. Oh no, that's across 2 games, 9 ends. Waikato's on 8.5 ends, and Ashburton are yet to score. Our top scorers, so obviously, based on points, Sean had a pop there. Killed it, and that's worth 2. I'll go and find a score for us. I'll be back. So that's 4-2 to Sean. Let's see if I can get a scoreboard up here. There we go. Let me know if that's too big. Lovely bowl there by Simon, and that's really nice. So Sean's got a couple of opportunities here. He could be playing through some stuff, but he's playing on his forehand, so he might be. It's just a slight overdraw. That's a great bowl by Sean, look at that. So the 2 blues were actually touching there. So again, we spoke earlier about kinetic energy. As that bowl comes up, it fires through that second bowl. So, however, having said that, Simon has 2 back bowls here. So I'd be expecting he's playing sort of spot weight. He's looking for that drag. That's a lovely bowl. So he's got 1 shot out of that. So we have 18 mats in the hall. The way the draw works is you've got skips and 2s will be playing singles, and your 3s and leads will be playing pairs. That makes use of all the bowls, all the mats in the hall. Sean just playing just over draw. Good job he didn't hit that. They would have taken that through to the... Probably find that Simon is going to play on the forehand, looking to either sit the orange or just get around it. He's got the shot at the moment. If he gets to that back blue, then Sean's sort of in a little bit of trouble trying to get a shot out of that. So lovely delivery. Just getting around the back there. I think he probably wanted it on the inside there. But having said that, if Sean was to play with any weight, if he'd sort of hoped that he could have played through that and sneak it across, what that's done, that's stopped that type of shot. However, having said that, he could sort of be playing for that split blue on that left-hand side, right? So if you played that gap, and if you actually managed to get onto the outside edge of that shot blue at the moment, you could sneak that bowl forward. However, he is playing his forehand. Obviously sees something different to me. A little bit on, looking for something to happen here, and as Simon predicted, was out the back there. Not sure why he didn't play that other way, but it's only one, so that is Simon. 3-4. I'm going to leave you for a moment. I've got to go and grab something. Okay, back. I doubt they've managed to squeeze in 2 ends, so we're still 4-3 to Sean. Ooh, just caught up there. Simon's going to be playing his forehand. Looking to either sit the orange, play enough weight to the corner of the square, pick up the kitty on the way past. Yep, it's good positive weight. It's getting the outside edge of it though. So now you've got to be thinking, is he holding 1 or 2? Either way, you're just getting down to your drawing because you're not going to take any other bowls out. I'm just having a look myself. Could be holding 2, you know. Needs to hang on the mat there, so there's definitely 2. Now I've got no idea. Let's pretend he got 2. And I'll try and get Roy's attention. Yep, there's a 2 there. I definitely would have gone for the measure. Or made use of the wonderful umpires that we have in the hall. That's a wonderful start there by Sean. Simon's opting to play his backhand. There's a good positional shot there in the middle of the square. Sean's playing his forehand. Oh, there's a lovely ball there matching that. Simon's now opting for his forehand. I think he'd probably similar weight, but he's looking to try and get onto that orange or drag the kitty. Just sneaking underneath. Lovely catching position there though. Sean switched to his backhand now. He sits on that blue, that's a good position. Wants it to hang over there. Probably wanted it more on the corner of the square, but he did go very wide. I think Simon's going to play the same bowl. probably little bit more positively, and gets a lovely result there. So he's holding one at the moment. Sean takes one drop the mat just to have a look, just to confirm. The way that the orange is sitting, because it's flush up against that blue, it's not going to disappear out of the head. He's going to play his forehand. I think he's going to probably try and get to the corner of the square, and if he's narrow, then he's going to get onto that kitty. So he wants to be around that blue. Oh. Now there's a possibility that you could play good positive weight. You could get rid of the orange, and depending on the weight that you play, you might, because the orange is touching the blue, so you could lose that blue out of the head. But as long as your bowl sticks, then you're picking up a couple. Being a couple down, we're probably 5 ends in out of 9. You've got to be considering that we're halfway through the game. So he's playing on his backhand. He's probably going to play positively. He's going to try and play to move some of those oranges as well. So maybe a little bit heavier. Yep. Good positive weight. He's trying to get the inside of that blue. Oh, he's been unlucky there. He's picked up a blue though. Well, from what I can see, it's a blue. Yeah. 4-6. 4-6. Yep, Roy just confirmed that it's 4-6. Let's pretend that there's been 5 ends. I can't remember how long I was away looking after the scores. Here's a good start here on the spot, just behind. It's that really nice position where if anything gets touched, it's always going to go back. Sean's playing his forehand as well. That's also close. Looking for the kitty. And that's what I was saying, if you just touch that kitty, it's always going to the blue. Simon opting to play here. So I'd probably be looking for the spot and weight. You're looking to either get the gap, or you're looking to move your blue around the corner. If you get onto the orange, it's a lovely bowl. And yeah, there's a good bowl there. Got a little bit too much of the kitty, I think, but this will force Sean onto his backhand. He'll be playing potentially middle of the square weight, but he can play that gap. He can just move the orange around the corner. He might be just a little bit light here, you know. Oh, such a lovely line. Does appear to be holding a little bit on that hand when you go wide. I'll be expecting Simon to be probably playing to, if you sit onto that front blue, the way it's sitting, it's sort of going to go straight back. But if you're narrow, you're going to get through that gap, or sit on that orange and sit that out, and then put Sean under real pressure. And even if you do get through that gap clean, you're not going to kill the kitty. You're not playing off the end of the mat weight. It's just a nice positive be there bowl. You've got a couple of options. Playing his forehand. Yep, it's just over that weight. He's looking for that blue around the corner. Yeah, there's a lovely bowl there. Oh, it's just gone a little bit too far, so there's that split's open now. So Sean on his forehand will be probing to, because he's got some stuff, even if he gets off the inside of the right hand blue, it's going to get kitty and going to get kitty movement. So you're looking probably, yep, it's good weight. He might just have undercooked the green here. And, oh, he just puts his hand up there, just a little bit lucky with that result. I'm not sure if he's got the shot. But Simon's pretty much going to play the same bowl that Sean would have done, because if he gets off the inside of his blue, he'll tuck that kitty around the corner and put Sean under all sorts of pressure. How's the weight? How's the legs? Don't think he's there, you know. That leaves Sean the option to actually play reasonable weight. He's just asked if who's holding, so Roy's having a good look. He favours blue. Sean's probably going to call for the hall controller shortly because that's not fair. But again, the orange is sitting on the blue, so it's... So again, you can play with a little bit of weight. So if you're playing halfway between, so middle of the square weight, if you get on the inside edge of the right hand blue, you're going to grab kitty. If you get onto your bowl, you need enough weight that it's going to tip that orange over. So he's playing his forehand. I'd be a little bit positive here. Not the end of the mat, but there's good weight. Here it goes. Get the inside of it. There it is. And picks it up. There's a great bowl. So that's 7-4. Confirmed by Roy. Thank you, Roy. So if we said that 6 ends had gone, there's 3 to play. Like I said, I don't know how many ends have gone. I'll see if I can get Roy's attention potentially.
That's right.
Oh.
He's loaded up.
So we just got a load of rain kicking off at the moment, so it might be a bit noisy, so I do apologise. I don't have a power pass-through for my headset. I might have to try my Bluetooth headset shortly. It's nice here by Simon, he's just getting in behind. That'll keep Sean on his forehand. How's your green, Sean? I think you're very similar to your first bowl. I mean, it's wonderful consistency. Simon's got lots of options here. He's just trying to draw close, and if you're narrow, you're going to sit on an orange. Again, he's got lovely green here. Touch that one around the corner. Yeah. So, Sean being 3 up, he can, well, first of all, afford to take a little bit more green. He can also afford to just be a little bit heavier. He's looking for that drag, you know, and he has got it. What a wonderful shot there. So it's being 3 up that gives you the opportunity to play a shot like that. Now this is quite a swinging hand, so Simon needs to be wide here. He's also playing middle of the square weight, and it's going to slip underneath and it's going to go. That's the problem there. Now Sean probably